Regenerative chicken is the only way you should be eating chicken. Hi guys, Farmer Max here, coming from our farm in Laikipia near Nanyuki. I am the face behind the brand, Farmer Max's Chickens. I practice in Mozambique, Tanzania and Kenya. We started our operation back in 2018, where we had just a couple of 100 chicks in, and by now it has grown thanks to you guys and your support. What we practice here is regenerative agriculture. The concept about regenerative agriculture, as far as livestock are concerned, is that you never keep animals in the same space. You're always constantly shifting them. The reason why you're doing that is to remove disease pressure and also to look after your soil. Key is modular and mobile infrastructure that you're permanently moving. If you think of a water trough in the middle of a field and cows coming to drink every day, the soil around that is going to get degraded very quickly, compacted. There's going to be no living root in that ground. So what regenerative agriculture is about is using the livestock as a tool to regenerate soil. So that's really the concept, compared to conventional poultry farming in this case, where it is a confined house. Chickens do not get moved. They have to, because they sit in their own poop, they will get sick. So we have to feed them with medications that we don't have to. In this case, the sun does the sanitizing. So the key is moving and resting before coming back on. Regenerative farmers believe that sustainability isn't enough. There's nothing from an agriculture point of view. The environmental footprint is so big that we have to not only sustain, but we have to regenerate. So I think regenerative agriculture is not only good for us, but it's good for the planet, because we're looking after the soil and we're regenerating soil. So soil has the ability to be a huge carbon sink, to naturally sequester carbon back into the soil where it belongs. From a farming point of view, carbon is a good thing. We want it in our soils because that's what makes things grow. It keeps the microbiome alive. So regenerative agriculture is a healthier way to produce food for us, but also the planet. So the idea is if your soil underneath is healthy, your microbiome is healthy, the grass is healthy, the livestock are healthy, we're healthy, and the planet's healthy. So it's a way more wholesome way of looking at producing food than the factory model. As a regenerative farmer, I'm convinced that, having been in conventional agriculture, it has to be part of the solution in terms of how we produce food. And our footprint as farmers, we have to be aware of. And having put 3 children into this world, I feel strongly about making a contribution to better it rather than to deplete the planet that we're on. This is the feed that we're feeding our birds. We believe it's the highest quality feed that we can get. We have to give this feed because the genetic makeup of the bird is such that they need this food. But what we're supplementing with is a healthy pasture and a diverse pasture. So they're able to peck and forage at grasses, at seeds, at bugs. Chickens need grit, so they're able to peck at the soil to get grit into their gizzards, which allows them to grind up feed. Again, in a conventional setup, that has to be mixed in. Here, they get it from a natural source, which is your soil. What we do to ensure the well-being of our birds is moving them every single morning, come what may. You remove the disease pressure, pathogens cannot build. They need a host. You remove the host and you put them onto fresh pasture. So if they're small, we obviously give them heat, but welfare is a priority to the way we raise birds. Not only does it make economic sense to look after your livestock, but we believe that that is the only way that we don't have to feed any antibiotics or medication that might come about if they are not moved. So the number one thing we do to look after them is move them every single morning. We look at the whole cycle. Going from packaging, we try and reduce it. We ship out in crates rather than more packaging material. We looking at slaughter waste. We sell our waste to a black soldier fly farm that we then, once removed, buy it back as to increase the natural protein in their diet. But again, I think this whole farm is about regenerating soils. So not only is our environmental impact has to be negative. I don't believe in operation having a footprint that is above zero. It has to be below and ecosystem enhancing rather than depleting. I think the message would be to go out and inform yourselves. you know, a little bit like what Greenspoon is doing right now, to go to producers and bring home the message of how food is produced. And I think that's super important for any consumer. Ask questions, go and visit. If the producer doesn't want you to visit, then it's probably likely they've got something to hide. So even if you don't end up going there, but just picking up the phone and saying, can I come and visit, will give you a strong indication in terms of how food is produced there. I'm going to use Simon Sinek's golden circle here, if you've come across it. And that's the what, the how, and the why. I think what we do is obvious. We produce meat chickens. How is by moving them and our processing plant. But I think the core of it is the why. And that is, we believe that this is the only way to produce a healthy bird on pasture, regenerative methods being applied. And it doesn't have to be from our farm. I would say as a consumer, it has to be from a farm that is regenerative to those principles.
Hi, my name is Caroline Waihoini. I am the administration officer here at Farmer Max. And today I'm at the processing facility, our slaughter facility. Basically, we go through a humane way of slaughtering our chickens. So they go through no stress, no kind of fear or anything. So they're happy chickens. And we have one designated person who does the slaughtering. So he's very well trained and skilled. So we are quite sure and we know that we are giving you good and safe chicken. After the killing, it goes through the plaque processing and all that and comes through the avis room where they're eviscerated and then graded and all that. And then now they come to this room where we are at. This is the cut-up room. From our whole chicken, we have various kind of cuts. The standard ones, we have breast, thighs, drumsticks, and wings. And then after that, we have the special cuts. Talk of mince, strips, chicken cubes, thigh fillets, drum fillets. After the grading and they're ready to come to the processing room, first we put them in the chiller so that they're not out in the warm kind of temperature. So after the chiller, they now come to the processing area, and after they are bagged and everything is set for crating and all that, they're taken now to the freezer, now the cold room freezer. On a slaughter day, we have about 35 people who we have assigned to come and help us do the processing and all that. And about 95% of them are women, and they're all locally situated. So we have them as our neighbors, and they are always readily available whenever we have a slaughtering day. And we also slaughter on 2 days, mostly. We slaughter on Monday and Thursdays. One of our products from Farmer Max is also dog food, which is actually, I'd say, one of the most popular products from our place. And we have zero waste from our processing product because we have a couple of like the backs and all that go into the dog food. So this means that the dogs enjoy good meat and good pet food.
Thanks guys, thanks for watching. You can follow us on Instagram. You can buy our products all over Nairobi, on Greenspoon of course.